This video brought to you in part by these fantastic sponsors. Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. I'm the Shotgun Shogun, and today we're going to be going over the next boss in the raid. Now this is going to be normal raid again as indicated down there, and we're going to go over the next boss that I typically do, and you can do any of the other bosses after you've downed the Devourer, but up next I do Secretary Vera. Now Secretary Vera is a level 54 Earth Mage with about 105,000 hit points. You're going to have two different phases for Vera, and there's quite a bit of stuff to do, and I will go over that as we get into this. So let's hop in here, and as you can see, boom, right out of the gate, Secretary Vera is going to spawn these 4 pods right here. And one of the big things about this is that when these eggs spawn, they are going to hit you with debuffs, like typically the other things that run through the rest of the area. So you're going to want to destroy these things really quick. So there's 2 ways of doing this, but let's go over the buffs that Vera has first. So up first is going to be Final Evolution. This grants the caster the stackable attack, defense, and speed increase every turn after hatching from a cocoon. I think that's whenever you hatch a cocoon, not whenever you get a hatch. Like Vera only hatches from a cocoon once in the second phase, so probably just some mistranslation there. The next one's going to be Prepare Evolution. This transfers into a huge cocoon and summons 2 warrior chargers if attacked when health is less than 50%. So you're going to want to get Vera down to 50% in order to trigger the second phase. Now the next one is going to be Mystery of Life. This increases attack and speed of the caster each time the Azimuth's Watcher hatches, and increases combat readiness for the caster each time a Watcher takes damage. So this is actually probably the one that I was thinking about here, where when the pods break, it increases all of the stats and in combat readiness. So I'll show you how I typically deal with this after this. Next one, Spew Rock. Spews of piles of stone at 2 random enemies with a 50% chance to stun for 1 turn. Oof. Now the next one is this summons the Watchers if their summoned monsters already exist. This decreases the skill cooldown by 3 turns and grants an extra turn. So if they're already out there, it just spawns them right out of the gate. So you really need to have some sort of debuff immunity. There needs to be some sort of debuff removal, because you're going to be popping these out and you're going to be getting hit with debuffs. So I brought my typical team of Belle, Baiken, Angelica, and Tam. Now my team, again, like the previous video, is fairly stacked, so this is going to go very quickly, but you're going to want to open up with a defense break. You're going to want some sort of cleave on all of them, but the way that I handle this is I just specifically target Vera, because if you're trying to chase the Watchers, you're going to always be behind, and Vera's going to just amp up in damage more and more, and you are going to end up just dealing with that. When I initially did this, that was my plan. I was like, well, let me just kill all these Watchers. I'll just cleave and do each one at a time. But with Vera's ultimate, you're always going to have them out there, and you're just going to have a super hard time keeping up with everything. So if you just target Vera, you will have a much better chance at getting everything off of the field. So you will want to save like Angelica's defense immunity for the after 50%. Now I did too much damage, unfortunately, so we don't have the defense immunity. But the thing is if you bring her down to 50%, you don't pop any of those, and you don't have to deal with debuffs. So you can either do it the way of dealing with the debuffs, or you can just absolutely just destroy her. Now we will defense immunity, because these 2 guys in the front will hit you with a provoke, So you don't want to get provoked because you need to bring down the cocoon. So as you, here, I didn't take a look at this, but this recovers the caster's health if the caster is already at max turns, grants continuous healing for 1 turn instead. So you're always going to want to be attacking the cocoon. Do not attack the warriors. There is no point. Now, if you get all the way down to the end of this, it summons Secretary Vera with increased attack, defense, and speed. However, if you can kill this, if you can kill the cocoon before this happens, you will get a weakened version of Vera. So it's actually, you just really have to burn this down. So let me do that real quick.
Here. Okay.
So unfortunately we didn't get the defense breakdown on it, but it's not too much of a problem.
Listen to me sing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's shine. I want to retire.
Now, one of the things that I do like to do is I like to save an Archie for when Vera pops out of the cocoon so that you can Archie first turn and then burn Vera down, because once you have Vera and you have the 2 dudes out there in front dealing damage, it is a little bit harder, and you want to make sure you burn Vera down a lot quicker. So as you can see, we popped that, and now Vera has the stackable attack defense every turn after hatching from the cocoon. So I think this one is actually different from the first one. So now is where you have that stacking attack defense speed buff. You have the rock spew, but now you have boulder vortex, which attacks all enemies with a 75% chance to reduce attack for 2 turns, which is pretty rough. So you are going to, like I said, want to make sure that you burn Vera down pretty quickly, because this is going to be a little bit harder than the first round, and you have the 2 dudes in front that are going to be taunting as well.
I'm scared. Yep. I've been waiting for this moment. I present to you the greatest magic. You can't close your eyes. Listen. To my song. I'll do my best. Shine free.
So again, my team is very overgeared for this. It makes it look very, very easy. This was actually a bit easier of a fight than some of the other ones once you learn how to manage all of the different components of the fight. So it's really, really not that bad. Also, just to clarify, the chargers actually don't taunt, they just reduce your combat readiness. I was mistaken because there's another boss where the dudes in front taunt. So just to clarify, the Carrick's chargers actually just reduce your combat readiness. They don't taunt. However, you still want to make sure that you're immune to that, and you don't have to deal with decreased combat readiness. So there you have it, guys. That was Secretary Vera on the map. This will be the one that is down here in this location. Devourer was up there, so we will be doing Executioner, and we will be doing the Juvie Council next, followed by the Queen last. So if you do like this, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification, drop me a like and a comment, and stick around for more raid guides on this. I will catch you later. Take it easy, heirs. Peace.
magic.